think it's about time we do some more work on the bus. Today, I'm going to be working on some of the low voltage wiring, specifically going down to the plumbing bay. We've got a 24 volt, wait, is it 24 volt? Yeah, we've got a 24 volt SureFlow water pump down there. And then there's some other sensors and whatnot that link to Home Assistant to tell me temperatures of the air temperature, the water tank temperature, and all that stuff. But right now, I'm running all of them on battery banks, and I have to swap them out every couple of days. That seems annoying, and also we need that pump to have power so that I can finish the plumbing. So about a month ago, I can't believe it's been that long already, but I ran some of the wiring down there. I'm using what looks like Romex. Actually, do I have some of it here? All right, so we're using this stuff here. It's a double insulated 2-conductor wire. It's DC. It is 12 gauge marine speaker wire. I don't know about all that, but 12 gauge is plenty to run a bunch of stuff. But anyways, I was able to run some of the wiring down into the plumbing bay, and then I came across under the bed back here and back down through the floor. I'll show you that in a minute. But basically, that was the hardest part to do, because I had to lay on my face basically under the bed and get all that stuff attached. But anyways, we're going to do the connection point from where it goes through the floor by the door over here to behind me where the DC power distribution stuff is. We've had 2 days with no rain now, which is kind of key for this because there's a bunch of mud on the other side of the bus typically, and we need to get into the inverter bay. So anyways, let's take a look at that and see what I've done so far and hopefully complete it. And actually, once we get down there, we're going to be using some of these little universal voltage USB phone chargers, which is why I had these on the gift list. The little ESP8266 sensors I'm using require USB power, and these seem like a good way to get that done. Oh, interesting. They have spring-loaded doors. So we have our USB ports in here, and then this thing will surface mount with screws. We got the wires on there. Input 12 to 24 volts, output 5 volts, 3.1 amps. And then this little cover screws over the top that holds down those little spring. Actually, I think it just snaps on. Yeah, anyways, it snaps on something like that, then you have your little doors. So anyways, we're going to use these to power those sensors down there, but we need to get power down there first. It is extremely windy out here today, so we're using the wireless mics. Hopefully that should mitigate some of the blowiness. But what I've done so far is set that stuff down. I've run these 2 wires down here and I've got them labeled. We've got a 24 volt line and a 12 volt line, and these basically run up here and through the floor. I am going to be getting a fitting on there. Right now we've just got tape on this because that was the easiest thing to do. There we go. But that hole in the floor runs power for the bilge heater and whatnot. So anyways, these go up inside and they go underneath the bed along here and then back down through the floor into this bay. And this is the, well, the inverter and batteries and stuff are on the other side. It's going to be kind of hard to show this, but the wires come along the floor back there. Let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, I think you can kind of see them there, but I've got the little, what you call it? Okay, this is hard to hold. I've got those little wire tie cables holding everything. Once again, we just got tape here to keep air from flowing out. But those come down here. Then I think we have these labeled. Yeah, so there's 12 volts and there's the 24 volt one. So basically what we're going to do today is run these back across there to that side, and then we're going to pop up through the floor behind all these water jugs and extension cords, and we're going to be plugging into these panels. That's the 24 volt panel, and the 12 volt panel is right over here where you can't see it. But once we do that, we should be good to go, and I'll be able to stop swapping sensor batteries. So our air temperature sensor is just kind of dangling right there. I'm going to get that mounted up here. And then there's our 2 cell phone battery banks, and those house the ESP boards, and we've got another temperature sensor going into the tank there. So anyways, yeah, we're going to do that, get some power to this pump, and that'll be one more step closer towards getting plumbing going. Oh, and I do have the hot water heater now. It's here with me in the green van. The plan for that is I'm going to be building sort of a wooden rack right here. I need to get some lumber and stuff to keep these tanks from sliding around. Right now I've got spacers on each side, in the middle, and across the back. but I'm going to build a little thing that goes across the front here to keep them from moving. Then we can run some straps over the top. And then this metal here, whatever stainless this stuff is, you can't drill it. So I'm going to be building sort of a wooden wall here with some 2x4s and plywood over it. We can drill through this floor material, that's fine. And then we can mount stuff, well, it's an HVAC duct, but back there we've got the plywood floor. So I'm basically just going to put a wall right along here and we can mount our water heater to that. It's one of those little Bosch, like 7-gallon, 120 volt ones. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to get to the other bay open on the other side, start pulling some wire, and this should go pretty quick, I think. But yeah, we needed a few dry days so I could get over here, because this is normally all mud, and it's really obnoxious getting the tires on the chair clogged with mud. I have not had the power distribution bay open in a minute. In theory, it should be... Wow, that looks complicated. In theory, we should be fine, and you shouldn't ever have to mess with any of this stuff. So there's our secondary inverter over there. Thank you to the person that bought that. That is 100% exclusively for the plumbing heater, because it pulls more power than I thought, and it would overload my grid feed. So that thing connects to the batteries with these cables here, and it always runs on the batteries. Then our 16 amp charger here, and also our solar panels up top via this thing, offsets that load. So anyways, I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but it works. Here's our inverter. This thing's been working great. Gosh, how long has it been now? 15, 18 months or something. But yeah, this thing's been rocking it. I probably shouldn't praise it too much because it'll try and explode on me if I talk about it. But this thing can do sustained 3,000 watts and peak surges for 5 seconds of 9,000 watts. Yeah, and then all of our assorted ventilation stuff. Okay, I'm going to get some of this work done, and then I will show you the progress. Basically, we're going to pull those wires from over there. I'm going to figure out how to attach them. And then they're going to poke through one of these holes, probably that one, and connect up inside to our 24 volt and 12 volt system. I try to run everything that I can off of 24 volts because my 12 volt system on here runs through that power converter. And if I'm connecting anything that will run on 24, I just use that to reduce the load on that thing. But there is some stuff that under no circumstances you can run on 24 volts, like the macerator pump back in the bathroom bay. So that thing's gonna have to be powered by that. It can spit out 20 amps, so I think it'll be okay for that pump, but that's gonna come later on. Right now I'm just running that off of a automotive jump pack when I need to use it. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work and I will be back. Okay, taking a bit of a break. Had to come back inside to grab my wire strippers. But we have, if you can pick it out there, we've got 2 wires coming up, and they weren't quite long enough to reach to my panels, but that's okay. I can extend them a little bit. And it's running underneath the floor. Whew, man. I may not have to get out of my chair to do this work, but I have to hold my arms up in really weird positions under here and try to use a drill. For right now, I'm just using these little knockoff Wago connectors to connect everything. And I'm just about to the point now where I'm ready to connect these 2 halves together. I'm gonna add some more of these, I always forget the name of them, those insulated wire clamp things. But basically wires come up over here, they're gonna be conjoined right there, and then go over there, and then back up to the inside. This seems like kind of a strange way to do things, going into the bus and then back underneath and around and all that. But you have to remember here, me being in a chair, there's only certain areas I can get to. So running the stuff inside, since I'm gonna have plumbing and electrical under the bed anyways, was fine. And we've already got a bunch of wires going down through the floor here. And having everything on the outside where I can get to it all is pretty key, just in case later on I have to like diagnose anything or get to it. Only spot in the middle I can't reach is that. I used a super long grabber stick to pull it across. But yeah, I think we're coming along here pretty good. I'm gonna make these 2 connections real quick. Just needed the wire strippers for that. And then I think we'll be ready to connect it to the panel. I had labeled the wires with 12 and 24 volts, but I had to trim them short. So I'm just gonna connect them up to their respective fuse boxes and then check with a meter down here in that bay. There's no way I could keep them straight. But yeah, as you can see here, these little clamps come in super handy. I guess probably should have checked earlier. What is our amperage rating here? Okay, they claimed 32 amps and Gluto load? I don't know, some random import brand name. I usually figure half of whatever the rating is good. So 15.5 amps or 16 amps? I don't know, math. We're not gonna be pulling more than that, so I think we should be all right. All right, some amount of time has passed and I am very tired. Arms are now made of Jell-O, but we have, I'll show you in there in a minute, but we've got things connected up to the fuse panels. There's no fuses in there yet, but everything runs down in here. So basically our wires pop down back there, run along here, then back up. I'm not able at the moment to get any more cable clamps there in the middle just because I can't reach it. But it's double insulated wire and I'm not going to be driving this thing any distances anytime soon, so I don't have to worry about the vibration. We've got some knockoff Wago clamps for now. This is just going to be powering some USB stuff, so it's not too big of a deal. I will, however, get those replaced with something more substantial at some point. I feel like I've already shown you all this, but got some of these connectors on here for now. I am running out of energy for today though, so I think what I'm going to do is get one of these USB things installed. It'll probably just be dangling in here for now, and I'm going to connect up my 2 sensors that I have just so I can get rid of those battery packs. I think for right now that's enough work for today. I did have to get out of my chair on the floor in there to get things wired up to the fuse panels, but there's a lot more work than I was expecting. I think it's been about 3 hours since we started. So anyways, I'm going to work on getting some of my garbage cleaned up here, and then probably just stick one of those USB power supplies on there. Oh, that's right. I need to put the fuses in and then label the wires as to which is 12 versus 24 volts, because I don't know at this point. I was trying to keep track, but at some point I was like, that's why God gave us multimeters. So anyways, I'm gonna do some more, then I'll be back. Ooh, coffee. I need to make some coffee. I know I keep saying it, but it's like so much work. For now, I just scabbed in this little piece of wood here to the floor, and we're going to attach our little USB power supplies to this thing. I will have to go back around at some point and change this, but for right now, I decided just doing this was better than having them dangling. And that will allow us to, I think these will fit behind here, and then we can plug our power in and have our temperature sensors and stuff. So anyways, that's what we're working on right now. I think getting close to done for the day. I just keep a box of random offcuts. That's why this one looks extremely weathered and it's crooked. It'll irritate me into fixing it later at some point. As I keep saying, this project is kind of a cross between getting stuff done right now so it's functional, but not doing it in such a way that it's going to require a lot of work later to go back through and fix. Yeah, so anyways, making progress. We are almost done. Oakley dokley. I do believe it's time to stick some fuses in here and then go down below and figure out which one of these wires on the other end is the proper voltage. Yeah, I got some plugs I'm going to put in these holes so we're not losing a bunch of air and stuff. And I also need to add a few more of these clamps on here. We're just kind of in testing phase at the moment here. So let's see, let's do, I think for now, since we're only running USB stuff down there, we'll just put some 5 amp fuses in and call it good. So our 12 volt is this one here. So let's plug this in. Okay, there we go, 5 amp fuse there. And I believe our other one is right here. Definitely getting to the point where I should be labeling all of these circuits, but I haven't exactly done that yet. So for now, we will just seal these back up and call that something. I'm gonna go down below, check with the voltmeter. Actually, let's see, voltmeter, there's one. And then gonna clean up all my tools outside and then gonna come back in here and finish this up. But I think we are almost done. Just realized I forgot to bring my camera stand down here. Anyways, we got the voltmeter just hanging there, checking current on that water line. And what we need to do here, I think, is stab this down into 2 of these. And there we go, 26 volts. As you see, it shows negative because I put the probes in there backwards, but that's fine. So now we know that one's 12 volts. And oh, I just realized these are very, very tiny wires. I am gonna put another bus bar down here. Actually, I should have just grabbed that. Actually, yeah, so we put 5 amp fuses. Was it 5 amp? 5 or 10, I can't remember up above. But whatever it is more than these wires are. And you never want to have any of your fuses smaller than any of the wires in the circuit. So I'm going to go grab a bus bar from up top. I think I'll install those down here. And then we'll be able to put a smaller fuse on this, like maybe 3 amps or something. I don't think those are capable of 5 amps. All right, well, so much for saving time. I'm going to get some more stuff. I'll be back when I get that done. Look, there's a bus bar. Okay, so what we did here was we've got our 24 volt line coming in, and I always like to leave at least 1 row of separation between positive and negative. These things only go vertically, they don't connect this way. And what I've done is I've added a mini fuse holder here. We've got a 3 amp fuse in there, which is much more suited to this wire. And now we should be ready to connect this to the negative. Let's see if anything happens here. Hey, we get a little blue light, sweet. So I'm going to strip this back, get the cover put on there, get the cover put on there, and then I think we're gonna be done for the day because, yeah, reasons. All right, we're done for the day. We have currently reached the amount of energy that I have to do anything, and I'm still sitting in here, and I've got a bunch of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. So this will just dangle for now. That's our water tank temperature sensor. Our air temperature down here is right here, and the probe is right here. Our 12 volt thing is just gonna sit here for now. That's not being used. Eventually that's gonna have to be run 2 more luggage bays back here and connect to the black water tank pump. But yeah, I think this will do for now. Oh yeah, I need to tape up these holes before it gets cold out tonight too. All right, engage cleanup mode. Okay, as we can see here, all of our temperature sensors are showing up, including one random one that's telling me the voltage of the battery in the van. But yeah, now I won't have to constantly be changing out sensor batteries for all of this stuff. And our graphs here will be more complete. Yay! By the way, here is our water heater. Some sort of Bosch something or other. And let's see if we can take a peek in here. All right, there we go. And I'm sure it's got some sort of bracketry for wall mounting, maybe. Yeah, it looks like there's something there on the back. And then, actually, I guess I'll bring our paperwork inside. But yeah, this is, I believe, 8 gallons. And it runs on 120 volts. So let's see here. So 120 volts, 60 hertz, 12 amps. I'm assuming that's the max, 1440 watts. Yeah, that math seems to check out. Oh, 7 gallons, I forgot. Hot water heaters do that thing where they add a couple of gallons based on, what do they call that? Thermal flow or whatever. So 5.1 gallons horizontal and 7 vertical. Interesting. All right, cool. Well, there we go. Water heater. And I figured I would show down here, ignore the extension cords and whatnot, but those 2 white lines there that go down through that hole, that's the plumbing bay. And these basically run up here along with the black cord that is for the plumbing heater. And those basically just run up top here, down behind the ice maker there on the floor, and pop back through the floor. So it was a little hard to show that earlier, but yeah, they are tied up fairly nicely. This is a temporary thing until I get electrical run over to the side of the bus. Right now that's powering my breathing machine and some other random stuff. But anyways, yeah. Underneath the bed here, when I get this thing built out, is where plumbing and electrical is going to be anyways. So figured, yeah, there we go. Might as well do it. And it just says hang the water heater on bracket. I don't see any pictures of that, but I'm sure it's probably got something in here maybe. Oh wait, let's see, parts, neon lamp, oliver thermostat, plastic cover. Oh, there we go. Right there, a wee bracket. We may have to modify that slightly since it's gonna be in a vehicle, but yeah, shouldn't be too hard. Looks like our heat element goes in the front there. Anyways, and there we go. I think we're gonna call that a video. We got a little bit of a project done. We got a bit of a project done. It is now 2 days later, and yeah, I'm still paying for my sins of trying to do things with my arms and screwing things to the floor and leaning over and all that stuff. But just now started raining, so we timed that perfectly. And yeah, anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I guess thanks for watching is now how I end videos. Anyways, whatever. See ya.